What's up, YouTube? It's JackalGoldKick, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about fun facts about the rapper DMX. DMX Fun Facts. So, this was a video that was requested by one of my viewers, Kapil Singh. Shout out to him. I appreciate all the support he shows the channel and the comments he leaves. This is a video that he wanted, so we're going to get right into it. Fun fact number one, he was born in 1970 on December 18th in Mount Vernon, New York. Fun fact number two, his real name is Earl Simmons. Fun fact number three, his hip hop music is categorized by his aggressive rapping style and lyrical content varying from hardcore themes to prayers. Fun fact number four, his height is 5'11. Fun fact number five, he's an actor, and I've seen some of the movies he was in. He has some pretty good movies, and he's a pretty good actor. Fun fact number six, he had a beef with Ja Rule. Back in the day, him and Ja Rule used to be cool. Then they had a beef, and what started the beef pretty much was two reasons. A lot of people were saying that Ja Rule was copying DMX and trying to be like him, and also DMX felt like Ja Rule was becoming full of himself and becoming egotistical, and he started to feel like he was better than everyone else. Basically, stuck up his own ass due to the hits and the success he was having. So it was that, and also people feeling like he was copying DMX, DMX feeling that way. That's what caused the beef and tension between DMX and Ja Rule. But eventually they did become cool again and squash beef. Fun fact number seven, he expressed disdain for Drake and Rick Ross. So he has said in the past that he doesn't like Drake or Rick Ross, but he probably squashed beef with Rick Ross because he eventually did do a collab with him. But when it comes to what he said about Drake, he said what he doesn't like about Drake is he doesn't like anything about him. He doesn't like the way he looks, his voice, the way he dresses. He doesn't like anything about him, basically. And I'm with him on not liking Drake because I don't really care for Drake myself either. I think he's one of the most overrated rappers and overrated music artists to ever exist. I don't think he's all that. And he also had an issue with him, something related with Ali. I can't fully remember what it was. And then when it comes to what DMX had to say about Rick Ross at this time before I think he did become cool with him, he said that all the guy raps about is food and weed. So that's what he had to say about his disdain and dislike for Drake and Rick Ross. Fun fact number eight, the origins of his rap name. This is what I pulled up when it comes to the origins of his rap name. Simmons developed a love for hip hop music and met local rapper Reddy Ron in 1984, who asked Simmons to become his partner. Simmons chose the name DMX the Great after the Oberheim, sorry if I ain't saying that right, DMX drum machine Simmons used at the group home. He later interpreted the name as Darkman X. So those were the origins that I found when it came to DMX's rap name. Fun fact number nine. He was in the video game Def Jam Vendetta, which is a pretty good video game. I remember him being in there. I remember his music being in there. I remember playing as him in there. Pretty cool. Fun fact number 10. He was signed to Def Jam Records in May 1997. Fun fact number 11. His favorite color is orange. Fun fact number 12. He had an unreleased gospel album in 2008 called Walk With Me Now and Fly With Me Later. And I have an article pulled up, and I'm going to go over some of the info that I'm going to tell you about this album. So he recorded this album in 2008. It was a gospel album, and it was during a dark time in his life and his career, but it was never released. This album was going to be a two-disc album. Disc one was going to be hip hop, and disc two was going to be gospel, profanity free, uplifting spiritual messages. X had traditionally reserved one spot on each of his albums for these types of tracks and would famously pause his shows to pray. No songs about bitches, no songs about robbing, just straight give God the glory. He was quoted as saying in anticipation of the record's release, he intended to perform it on tour of southern megachurches and to eventually open his own church, House of the Afflicted, where he'd focus on preaching to those struggling with homelessness and drug addiction. And it said also it would feature backing vocals from a local singer named Janice. It's also going to be produced by a guy named Pat Gallo, Divine Bars. But it never happened. The tour was cut short. X's arrest caught up with him, and then he was put in jail for a short period of time. Some of the tracks apparently did leak, but in low quality, against the rapper's will. X's label, aka DMX, the label also ran into legal issues, and the rights to the album eventually went to Seven Arts Entertainment, which released an unauthorized compilation of his unfinished material 3 years later. It says the remainder of unreleased tracks are on hard drives in the possession of a Canadian businessman, Howard Mann. So yeah, I'm not going to read the whole article, but that's some of the information on this unreleased album that he was supposed to put out. I think if I had to guess, some of the songs meant for the album, I think those came out on one of the projects that came out that wasn't even his own official release, where it was like a picture of him and people said it looked like a PlayStation 1 video game cover. I think it was called Undisputed or something. I can't remember the name of that project, but I'm going to assume that's the one, 'cause I remember DMX saying they didn't approve of that release. So I'm going to assume that's the one, but I can't remember the name of it. Fun fact number 13. His other rap names was Darkman X, X, and Divine Master of the Unknown. Fun fact number 14. In 2003, he published a book titled Earl, the autobiography of DMX. Fun fact number 15. He has an unreleased song with Eminem and Obi Trice from 2008. Really wish we could hear that one. I'd be very interested in hearing that because that was when Eminem was on and kind of getting off the pills. And that would have just been an interesting time period to hear a song with Eminem, DMX, and Obi Trice. And that would have been the second collab they did because the song Go to Sleep they did was pretty damn good. Fun fact number 16. Him and MGK met and collabed. So MGK and DMX actually met each other on camera. They talked to each other. They got along well. DMX appeared on MGK's album. MGK appeared on DMX's album. And they did two songs together and they met in person on camera and talked to each other. DMX was one of MGK's favorite rappers and one of his influences. So that's pretty cool. Fun fact number 17. He listed J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar as his new school favorites. Pretty cool. Fun fact number 18. His favorites from old school was Jimmy Spicer, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Slick Rick, and Cool G Rap. Pretty cool. Fun fact number 19. Def Jam offered him 2 cents per video game sold. Def Jam Vendetta. Now, I watched a video about this, and I don't know if he was talking about Def Jam Vendetta or Def Jam Fight for New York, but DMX was basically saying that Def Jam was talking to him about the Def Jam sequel, and they were saying basically they were only going to give him, like I mentioned, only 2% or 2 cents per video game sold, which is a pretty lame pay when him and many other rappers in those games is what sold the Def Jam games, is what made them successful. That's what brought people to them. So I don't know if he's talking about Vendetta or if he's talking about the sequel. I'm going to assume he was talking about the sequel because DMX was in Def Jam Vendetta, but he was not in Def Jam Fight for New York. And this would explain why that is if I had to assume. Because that's a pretty lame pay, honestly, and it's pretty fucked up that Def Jam would do that shit because your rappers are what make your games and make them popular in the first place. So that's pretty lousy pay. 2 cents sold per game to DMX. He should have gotten way more than that, especially if this was meant for if this was meant for the sequel, Def Jam Fight for New York, and he was meant to be in that because that game was more popular and even more successful than Def Jam Vendetta. And it sucks too because it would have been cool to see him at Def Jam Fight for New York. Because Def Jam Vendetta was good, but Def Jam Fight for New York is even better and a really good game sequel. Fun fact number 20. Now, to me, this is like the craziest, most interesting fun fact that I found out about DMX. And this is pretty insane. And I wish this would have happened because it's very interesting. Him and Eminem were supposed to star in a sequel to the Crow movie with DMX as the lead and Eminem as the villain. That would have been very interesting. But one of the people behind the movie, Harvey Weinstein, that piece of trash, he said, no one would want to see a movie starring two rappers. Stupid as hell that he would say that dumb shit. I think it would have been very interesting. And this was going to be around 2003 or something when I read about this. That would have been really interesting and cool to see a sequel to The Crow, which I like the Crow movie with Brandon Lee. That's still the best one. Salvation's decent, but that's still the best one with Brandon Lee. Rest in peace, Brandon Lee. But they were want to do a sequel to The Crow with DMX as the hero and Eminem as the villain. That would have been very interesting. I would have been interested in seeing that. That would have been a different feel and a much different approach than what we've seen before with The Crow. I would have liked to see that. I think that would have been better than what the alternative they did with The Crow, which is just try to kind of do the original movie again. Much like how what they're doing with the new Crow film, just changing the look of his face, but it's still kind of the same thing and loses his girl and stuff like that. So I think it's a damn shame that didn't happen because it would have been really cool to see DMX and Eminem in that movie. That'd have been cool. They probably would have did songs for it, made some music for it. That would have been awesome. Fuck Harvey Weinstein for not letting that happen. Like, what was he thinking? No one wants to see a film with two rappers. DMX and Eminem were very popular rappers. That movie would have did so well with them two in it. Like, what is he talking about? Oh, two rappers in it. Who don't watch that? That's a bunch of bullshit. Plenty of people would have checked it out and watched it. Like, that's fucking crazy. So it's a damn shame that didn't happen. But that's the most interesting fun fact to me. That was really interesting finding that out. Fun fact number 21. Him, Ja Rule, and Jay Z were supposed to form a rap group back in the day called Murder Inc. But according to Jay Z, it didn't happen due to ego and them all trying to make it and be the biggest and best at the world at the time. So, yeah, DMX, Jay Z, and Ja Rule were supposed to make a rap group back in the day, but basically what I said, quoting what Jay Z said, that's why it didn't happen. And that eventually became the label name that Ja Rule was a part of with Irv Gotti and them. Fun fact number 22. There's comparisons between him and Tupac. People have often compared him to Tupac. There was also a leaked song or something unreleased where DMX dissed Tupac back in the day. But DMX has stated that he is a fan of Tupac and he had nothing but positive stuff to say about him, and that there's no comparison between him and Tupac, as he's Tupac and DMX says I'm the only X. So that's what he had to say about it. I think there's a lot of differences between the two. Honestly, I really do. So yeah. Fun fact number 23. He's eaten dog food before. Fun fact number 24. He has a love for dogs, which I agree with his love for dogs. And I watched a clip of this off the Drink Champ show that Nori does. And what he said about dogs and why he loves them is he says they have unconditional love. They don't lie to you. They don't know how to lie. He likes them more than humans. He says they're more loyal. And it's like, for example, if a dog does something wrong and you beat him up, they're still going to be on your side and still going to, love you. So I feel where he's coming from about dogs because, yeah, in a lot of cases, dogs are more loyal than people are. So I'm with him on that. Fun fact number 25, and this is the last fun fact for the video. He's a religious man, which is very true. I've seen it myself with some of the gospel songs he does on his albums and prayers and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's it for this video of fun facts about the rapper DMX. That's all I got to say in this video. Peace. And by the way, one more thing I wanted to say that I forgot to mention in this video, DMX is a really good rapper, and I do like his music, and I am a fan of him. He was very talented, and it sucks that he's dead. Rest in peace to him. Definitely, he will be missed. But that's it for this video. Peace.